Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fissner. Guys, job 1914. The customer brought in Asus laptop, you see the model, and I've checked everything, okay? So on the coils, on each of the coils versus ground, we have voltage. Okay, that's not a problem, and that's as should be. Let me hook up the power. I've disconnected because I just assembled it. Okay, let us turn on. Okay, the laptop is turning on. The fan should kick in quite shortly because I've noticed that it's getting warm. Yes, and the fan should kick quite promptly. So we should have voltages on the coils. Well, not all the coils, but like almost all the coils. Oh, the fan is already on. So let us check. Yes. Now here is 3.4 volts. Here it's 0. Oh no, it's 5 volts. Okay, sorry, that's the wrong coil. This is 0. And I'll show you why there is 0. You see that you can't see it clearly. Oh, now it's better. So again, 3.4, 5 volts. This coil is 0. Should be power. Well, this can go off. This is 0.9. 0.79, 10 volts, 1.2 volt, 1.38, and these are 0 because the charge is not in. Oh no, that's 0.9, so this will be 0, yes? No, 0.9. Okay, so I'm wrong. Okay, so as you see, all the voltages apart from one coil here are not present. Okay, so here is a charge. Sorry, I went from the other side. So what it is that what this coil does is supplying power to the processor. The processor is warm and the laptop is turned on, but there is no picture. So we can, I don't know if you can hear, but it is spinning, whereas on the picture there's nothing. Okay, if that coil would have a power, I would then desolder the RAM. Desolder the WinBond chip, which is a BIOS chip, and I would just attempt to repair a BIOS. But because okay, now it stopped. But because on this coil we're missing voltage, for me it's an obvious warning light. Why? Yes. So what I did is that I took a bench power supply, I've switched on 0.5 volt, and I've enabled OCP over current protection, and I injected to that MOSFET, because that MOSFET on that coil receives 11 volts and it output 0 volts. So on that I've voltage injected and I had kicked in OCP. So I said, okay, there is a short. So I took that. Oh, it's on? Or am I wrong? Yeah, it's on back again. Okay. Let me switch it off first because I don't want it to. Okay, now it's off. I think I was. Oh, now I see that it's not fully turning off. That's why. Okay. So now it makes sense. So what I want to say is what I've done, yes, is I took out everything. I took the motherboard out, and I took all the components away, and I voltage inject 0.5 volt, and nothing was heating up apart from the processor. Okay, so it's powering on again, so it's in a loop. but it won't power on because we're missing voltage. Now if you would voltage inject that 0.9 volt, let's say, yes, it won't still work, okay? And if you would, let's say, try to fix the BIOS, that's irrelevant because you're missing 1 voltage. So pretty much now what you would have to do is you would have to check the MOSFET first, if that MOSFET is working when the gate is like transferring the current, yes? So if the MOSFET will work, then you can check all the capacitors on the side of the CPU which are relevant to that power rail. Let me switch to the board view here. Desktop, where's my desktop? Here's my desktop, okay? So you can see that the PQH8106 goes on this pin to this coil and to this component, to this coil, and then this coil spit it out to the capacitors, and that feeds the processor, this part of the processor. So it's VCC GT line, okay? And you can't literally you can't do anything about it. The only thing, if that would be accurate, all you can do is you can replace the processor, yes, if everything else would work fine. I'll disconnect this to not boot up because it's only using the energy from the battery and it won't work anyway. So unfortunately that's a no fix, and we know what is the problem, we know how to fully diagnose it because that's the initial diagnosis, yes? So we know how to fully diagnose it, but because the board is super thin and because of the value of the laptop and because of the work it involves to undertake, you know, to go to the bottom of it, I would say it's not worth for the customer to spend money on, because customer can easily get a laptop for the amount of repair spent on it, which have more value for the customer, okay? So my recommendation will be not to get the CPU, not to replace the CPU or go to the bottom of the fault and confirm that it is a fault of the CPU, yes? Not equal. Now it's about equal. So yeah, that's what I would do, yes? If you're interested in the software we're using, it's ex.ScreenProtector software. I'll put a link in the description for the software. You've got even lifetime account. It's cheap software. Even per month when you buy it, it's $6 or something per month. Then 3 months is $15, $40, $3.90 is per year, and then lifetime is $199, so you don't have to pay subscription anymore. And it's a good software because it has a lot of schematics for laptops and a lot of board views. So yeah, would I fix this laptop? Okay, I would only fix this laptop if I would have like too much time and there would be not 100 plus 150 jobs here, and I would definitely have spare time to spare on this type of repair. But there is a caveat, because those boards are super thin comparing to other, like a gaming laptop. It's super thin, and there is a risk that when you will be doing it, the board can go banana. Yes, so even if you get preheater and you will replace the chip, you've got no guarantee that it will work. And there are other YouTubers, and even like I'm Polish, so there are Polish YouTubers which are showing that those thin boards are not really good for replacing the CPUs. Okay, so one, you don't know what quality you will get from China. Two, people are complaining because there are those unleaded solder balls which requires higher temp. And then three, you've got a lot of work because it's glued on 4 sides, 4 corners, so you need to take it as well away. Then if you don't have stencils and if you're putting like 1500 bolts, I know how long it takes, because my wife helped me with one processor, only for Xbox, I think, Series S, and she's done it, you know, and then she's done quite a few of the laptop CPUs, and it takes hours, a lot of hours, if you don't have stencil. So if you've got stencil, it's still, you know, big job, plus the risk of the thin board. I don't see it as worth as I would want it. Yes, so for me, I would say no. I would not go for any more hassle with this laptop. In that case, I'd rather call it a no fix, unless customer has some really important data and they don't remember their BitLocker key or something. Then of course we will go, but the customer is in a risk of spending more money than buying another laptop, and they have to be aware about it. Yes, and we will always make customers aware about that. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you. A no fix is a no fix. What can you do? You know, we need to move on to another jobs, because there is a lot. So guys, thank you for watching, and if you get comments or questions, leave them down below. Thank you. One more thing, for those who don't know, we run a franchise and we've got all software to manage the franchise. So if you would like to open your own repair shop even from home, you can let us know. Thank you. Bye bye.